Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Derek from Strive. Today we are going to talk about fats, mostly healthy fats. Um, just like carbohydrates, it's gotten a bad rap over the years. Mostly in like the '90s when all the and 2000s when all the fat free and low fat things came up because fat was the enemy. Nowadays it's carbs. Carbs are the enemy. Okay, neither one of them are bad. Okay, eating too much of both of them equals bad, and mostly the processed foods and stuff like that are high fat, high carbs. Okay, so that's where people get the carbs and fats are evil. Having the right portions, again, all the three macros have their purpose. Protein, carbs, and fats all have their purpose. Today for fats, one of the main things that we want to do is we want to focus on those fats. Okay, mostly because it doesn't take that much to get the amount of fat that you need throughout the day, and there's 9 calories per gram for fat. Okay, so it does not take that much to get a whole bunch of calories into your system. So we want to make sure that portions are on point for fats. All right, portion of fats again around 7 to 12 grams. Tablespoon is pretty much what it ends up being. On our hand, it's the thumb. This includes the cheese, nuts, nut butters, uh, cooking oils, stuff like that. All right, avocados a little bit different story for portion wise, but we're around 7 to 12 mark. That's a good healthy portion. Olive oil a little bit different. It's around 16. Again, doesn't mean it's bad for you. Okay, it just means that it's a higher number. All right, so we want to focus on that. Don't focus on like, oh my God, that's super bad for you. Okay, if we're focusing on eating good whole foods, you should be fine. All right. Major thing is stop buying the low fat and fat free items. Okay, we need healthy fats in our diet. Okay, it's better for hormones, better for our brain to regulate what's going on in our body, everything like that. Okay, so we need that those healthy fats. Okay, and again, if we're focusing on eating whole foods as a general guideline, you will be fine. You shouldn't have to stress out over it or anything like that. The big thing is we want to make sure we know exactly what we are putting into our body. Okay, that's where the food logging comes in, stuff like that. If we are stressing out about food logging, if we it's too much for us to handle or anything like that, one of the rule of the thumb is, hey, measure the fats. If we know we're doing good with protein and stuff like that, or we just don't want to focus on it at all, at the very least, focus on the fats because you will easily overdo it if you don't know what's going on. Okay? And that is one of the main things when people sort of say, I am eating clean, I am doing all this other stuff, I'm eating less than I was before, and I'm not seeing results. A lot of times they're just not paying attention to the fat content. Okay, they're not paying attention to all the little things, and that's usually what is the high fats. The cheese, the salad dressings, the cooking oils, the little snacks that don't count. The handful of nuts, stuff like that. Even a handful of nuts is not a portion. Okay, and majority of times when people do this is they'll have a handful of nuts here, a handful of nuts here, a handful here, a handful here, a handful here. All that stuff adds up. Okay, and that's why we want to make sure that we are focusing on that because you can easily overdo it over time, especially for mindless eating, which is another video in itself. Okay, so we want to measure. We want to make sure that that is what's going on. Do you need to measure with a tablespoon every single time? Absolutely not. But if you have a good mindset of a good idea of what a portion of fat is, you should be good. All right. And on top of that, we want to know what the portion, what the good fats are. Okay. A lot of times when people need to get more protein or something, they'll be like, okay, I'm gonna have a slice of cheese or a stick of mozzarella cheese or stuff like that. That is a fat source that has protein in it. So you got to make sure that you're not just going, oh, I'm gonna get my protein. I'm eating the cheese, stuff like that. Same thing with nuts, peanut butter, stuff like that. It has protein in it, but it's a fat source with a protein. Okay. Same thing with all the other stuff. Salmon. Salmon is a good source of protein, but it has fat in it. Good, healthy fat, we need it, but you have to make sure that you're tracking it as well. Same thing with eggs. Egg yolks are not bad. Okay, it's been proven they are not bad. and it has a whole bunch of vitamins in it, things like that. But it is a fat source. Those yolks are a fat source. We have to make sure that we're paying attention to that, or else we will easily go over what's going on, and then that is the issue. Okay, so the biggest thing with fats is that is what we want to make sure that we are on point with. Okay, that and carbs as we're going through diet mode, those are the two things that we really want to make sure that we are on point. We know what's going on. Okay, that is the biggest things. We have control, and we want to make sure that we are mindful of what's going on in our bodies.